Okay, we're here at 424 South Irving Boulevard here in Los Angeles. Now, we're here to check the main sewer line. We obviously cannot check every pipe in the house. You'll have your general inspector crawl underneath the house and he's physically going to look at everything. We're here to check the main sewer line, and this inspection is based on my opinion. We started off by running our camera from this 4-inch clean out. It's like an end-of-a-line clean out here at the left-hand side of the house next to the driveway. And we've got our camera. There also is another clean out with the pipe exits in the front over here if you're facing the house on the left-hand side. The sewer line goes all the way over to the right-hand side of the house if you're actually facing it from the street. It goes to the right-hand side in the street. And right now we have our camera in about 173 feet, which brings us all the way to the city connection in the street. So just right over there is the city connection. We're going to bring the camera back. We're going to have a look at this over here. So we're going to bring the camera back. There's the turn into the city right there. A slight little shift in the line over there. Now, this is very common. You're going to find little shifts in a clay pipe, especially with cement joints. They never seem to line up perfectly, especially near the city connection where you've got 45-degree turns. So in my opinion, this all looks pretty good over here. It's nice and clean. It's a big 6-inch clay pipe coming back from the middle of the street towards the property line. Looks pretty good. Okay, it comes onto the property here. It's going to change to a cast iron pipe. Now, the cast iron pipe is 100 years old. However, cast iron piping in the 1920s was a very strong material, but it does have a tendency to rust inside, obviously like all cast iron pipe. Now remember, we're looking at the inside of the pipe. We cannot see the outside of the pipe. So we're going to bring the camera back. Now, there is definitely some significant amount of rust buildup. However, the pipe is functioning. It's obviously getting old. It's 100 years old. But like I mentioned to you, cast iron pipe from the 20s was a very thick, strong material. And sometimes what you can do, at least if you can't afford to replace the pipe, is to run a cable with a blade through the line. You can descale the rust out of the pipe. Of course, there's no guarantee, but that's one way to kind of get rid of the rust. Because like I mentioned, from the 20s, the cast iron, the steel was very strong material. And of course, it has the tendency to rust inside, which it will do. Now, whatever you do, you should never flush tampons, baby wipes, paper towels, things like that. But you can see the pipe is functioning, but does have rust buildup in it, which is very well expected. You can see here, it definitely has some rust buildup, you see. Obviously, it would be best if you replace the pipe. There's no doubt about that. But it is functioning, and it's getting old.
We just came to hang out. Hey. Do you live here? Do you live here?
Ahí está Ventura. and
What?
go home 4 o'clock.
Oh, okay.
7:30 to 4.
Wow.
Yeah, I live here all weekends.
Wow.
Okay, now over here, this is where the pipe exits the house. Looks like there's a little bit of a hole in the pipe over there and some roots are getting in. So that's not good. That should be fixed over there. Now we're going to start coming underneath. Hold on a sec. Okay, let's continue coming back. So we're underneath the house now. We actually, the cast iron actually looks a lot better than it did on the outside of the house. You can see it has really a very minimal amount of rust buildup. Doesn't look too bad at all. But remember, we're looking at the inside of the pipe. We cannot see the outside of the pipe. And you'll have your general inspector obviously inspect stuff when he crawls underneath. And if he says that it's all leaking and stuff, well, then that's a different story. But looking at the inside, you can see it really doesn't look that bad. Okay, so here it's going to come out of the clean out on the side of the house. We're going to pause the recording. Okay, I just want to record this. This is coming from the guest house at the back. There was a lot of debris and paper in the line, so we're kind of flushing it out. We just want to make sure that we get all this debris out of the line and we can tell whether it was done properly, the job. So go in, Rigoberto, go. Yeah. In the beginning we did see a lot of roots, so obviously, okay, yeah, keep going. You see they were, come back a little bit, come back, you see we've got some roots. There were roots, so this is a very bad connection over here. Okay. Why don't you push it all the way out? Push the cam, there you see the roots. Let's push it all the way out and then we'll record it as we come back and then we'll flush it out in the meantime and make sure that it's installed correctly. So I'm just going to pause the recording. Okay, we have our camera all the way out to the property line just before it dives down into that old section of cast iron pipe. Okay, we're going to bring the camera back now. And this is where they tied in the new pipe. So we're going to bring it back, and that's the proper way to look at it is when you bring the camera backwards. So we'll see, hopefully, remember this is a new polyethylene pipe with ABS plastic, so that's a good thing. You can see it's nice and smooth inside. So we'll have a look at it as we come back, because what we did notice when we first put our camera in that there were roots at the connections over here, so that probably was poorly installed. Anyway, we're just going to keep coming back and we'll have a look at it. And that's the proper way to look at it, is to bring the camera back. Because you can see, pushing it forward, it can make a wave. If there was a little bit of water standing in the line, it looks really bad. But you can tell by doing this that so far we're looking pretty good. Now, obviously, this is a very long run. You definitely don't want to be flushing tampons, baby wipes, paper towels, things like that. I stress that very much.
¿Le salió raíces allá donde iba o aquí al empezar?
See now, right over here now, this becomes, just hold it there. Okay, go forward a little bit. Go forward. A little more. Okay, stop here. Okay, so round about this point over here, we're 2 feet 3 inches deep, with a slight little grade going downhill, very slight. Let's bring the camera back. Let's have a look now. How much water is really standing in the line? We want to try to confirm if there's enough grade, because there's obvious standing water over here, not draining properly at all. Keep coming back. Okay, let's stop here. Okay, so that we've also located at 2 feet 3 inches deep. There's really not much grade over about a 20-foot span. Let's keep coming back. This all looks okay. You see, we've got roots here in the line. So something's not right over here. Something was poorly done. I'm going to just locate this over here quickly.